I'm Michelle Ruiz. My company, my branded company is called My Life as a Latina Entrepreneur, and you can follow me with blogs, etc., and video blogs at michelleruiz.com with one L, although you'll find me if you misspell it. Right here is RAUL DIAZ. He's the Sprint technical trainer guru who is actually my inside person who I call. I just called you yesterday afternoon. Hey, can I do this? Like, you know, which is great. Tech support. He's my own personal tech support.
Private IT.
Right, thank you very much. You spent a lot of time teaching me how to use the Sprint Nexus S4G phone, which I really tell you that it's just terrific in terms of speed and access to a lot of the applications and things that I use for my business. Then next to me here to my left is BRYAN, who is the producer and host of Behind the Brand TV that can be seen at behindthebrand.net, and he focuses on featuring innovative business owners and entrepreneurs. He's a branding guru, a marketing guru, and we're going to be collaborating together a lot more coming up. And also KATHLEEN Dunleavy, she's the spokesperson for Sprint. Sprint is co-presenting this chat today at 2 o'clock, also at 4, by the way, if you've got friends or colleagues who you think would like to watch this in Spanish. So, back to you, Android. So we talked about Android, because that to me was new. I mean, I knew people talk about Android versus iPhone, but if you could just kind of explain, especially for those of us who aren't, you know, some of us who aren't quite as techy, and what does that mean for business owners?
Well, Android is an operating system that Google has been really putting it to the forefront of all wireless operating systems. Google took Android as a platform and just has not stopped running with it. Right now we're currently on the latest and greatest format, which is Google 2.3 for the phones, which is also nicknamed as Gingerbread. And the operating system is what they like to call the open arena or open platform type of operating system. So what that means to everybody, this is one of the legit operating systems out there that if you wanted to create an application for your company, for your business, all you need to do is have a little bit of Java technical skills and you can create your own application. But the great thing about it is that Google not only stops there, but they help you create some of the applications with the forums they hold on their Google Labs or even on the Google Android website. You can go there and find out how to create your own application. And you have programs out there like AppGeyser, which actually you can, it's almost like a puzzle. You go onto the website, you can pick what you would like your app to look like, what it would do for your phone or for your business, and you can start picking and choosing, try to put it together, test it out on your phone, and if it works, you can put it out there for the world to check out. And you never, I mean.
So when you're saying apps, you really mean like the apps that, you know, we download on our phones. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you want a specific app for your customers or clients, or create something that differentiates you from your competition, you're saying with the Android, which you explained to me before, the Android technology and the platform, you can create it very easily as long as either you yourself or your web developer probably has enough sufficient skill, right? I mean, you know all about that, right?
No. I know enough to be dangerous.
No, enough to be dangerous. Yeah. But well, you can create
there's an application developers toolkit on the Sprint website. And so anyone who wants to create an application should definitely check that out. And it gives, you know, step-by-step instructions, not only to help people develop an application, but also then, you know, how to get it on the Android marketplace and what steps to follow. Mm-hmm. And Sprint also will host conferences. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, where we have conferences for application developers up in the Bay Area. I think it's in October. And bring everyone together and give, you know, hands-on instruction for people.
That's terrific. Yeah. And in addition to that, so for example, how have you seen business owners or some of the more creative apps that are being created? Because it's really kind of like you were saying, like the new version of a website, right?
Well, I think that where it's heading is where we are right now with website development, where, you know, platforms like open source platforms like WordPress and such make it so easy to create your own website. It's WYSIWYG, right? What you see is what you get. It's very templatized, parameterized, so that basically, you know, put your logo in this box, put your text in here. You know, it's just almost like Microsoft Word. We have all the formatting stuff, and you just push a button to publish it, and there you have your website. I think that's where we'll be in a very short time with creating apps.
Yeah.
I have no idea, because I'm not an expert in this space, but just where I see everything going, it seems like, you know, we're having to develop apps for individual platforms, and, you know, people talk about HTML5 being the new answer to, you know, a sort of a uniform system. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, because, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I think in a very short time we'll be able to do and develop apps like we're developing websites today.
And so you were how some of the creative ways you've seen entrepreneurs, business owners, or
I've seen a couple different ways, anywhere from inventory control for companies. You know, some of the mid-sized, you know, higher, bigger sized companies that have an IT department have created their own personal applications to work with the systems they already have for their company. So we've seen inventory control. I've seen even tracking, because these phones do have full GPS capability. So we talked a little bit about tracking earlier before we started. Some companies have gone out and created tracking information for their drivers, for their employees, geofencing, just to make sure that their employees are where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. So, I mean, the sky's the limit with this. That's a great thing.
Sure.
That's the beautiful thing about the Android platform. It's open. So if you can imagine it, there's a possibility to get it done. How
Right.
much experience you have in it, that's the $1 million question.
So if you're someone like me who can visualize what I would like something to accomplish, but I have no clue, and some of this language you're using is like, but I can at least talk to my web developer and say, can you develop an app for me on the Android platform that does X, Y, Z, and it's a relatively quote-unquote easy thing to do for my business,
Correct.
right?
And, and that's when you want to get to the technical aspect of it. But let's say, for example, we want to have the Michelle Reese app that shows, you know.
Which, by the way, we are. Did you know you're doing it?
Well, I got it. I'm going to ask for a little bit of overtime.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, say, for example, something basic like that, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Android, being a Google product, Google tries to open it up for everybody. So whether it's through their lab, and I'm checking this out right now, this is through the App Inventor, one of the applications that Google Labs
What is it
actually
called? It's called what?
App Inventor.
Oh,
So-
App Inventor.
So
Okay.
there we can go actually to the Google Labs, and App Inventor for Android will give you some of the basic steps on how to create the actual application. So there, it's loading up, and it'll give you a brief description. Actually, even gives you a little video on how you can start on the creation of your very first app. And it's web-based, so all you need to do, you know, have some little bit of spare time, sit in front of your computer, and start working with the App Inventor program. And you never know, maybe you're not going to have the next Angry Birds, but you'll have something out there.